Hi, this is Professor Salazar. Today I'm going to be showing you a tool called Ollama. This is an AI tool similar to ChatGPT, Copilot, or Gemini. I'm going to be showing you how you can install this on a Linux system, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it and how you can use it within your Linux system. So I'm going to first start by sharing my screen. And I'm on my Windows computer right now. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to go to the web and I'm going to type in what is Ollama. Okay. And if I'm looking here at my Brave browser, it says that based on the provided search results, Ollama is an open source project that enables users to easily run large language models, LLMs, locally on their machines. It simplifies the process of downloading, installing, and interacting with a wide range of LLMs, empowering users to explore their capabilities without requiring extensive technical expertise or reliance on cloud-based platforms. Ollama provides a comprehensive list of features and functionalities designed to enhance the user experience and maximize the potential of local LLMs, or large language models. All right, so there's some key aspects. It gives us some examples, and then it says, overall, Ollama aims to democratize AI technology by providing a gateway to harnessing the capabilities of large language models directly on local machines, fostering innovation, exploration, and deeper understanding of these advanced AI models. Okay. You can also go to the website called ollama.com. And you can go to this website and download it. You can see that there's different language models here that you can use. You can run Llama 2, 3.2, Pi 3, Mistral, Gemma 2, and other models. And if you click on download, you see that there's a version for the Mac OS. There's also a version for Linux, and there's a version for Windows. The Windows version is currently in preview. So if you have a Linux system running on your Windows machine, such as a virtual machine, or if you have the Windows subsystem for Linux, all you need to do is take this command and copy it into your Linux system and run it. So for the purposes of this lab, I'm first going to run through some updates on my Linux system, and I'm going to check to see that I have a tool called curl installed. If I have a tool called curl, I can run this command and start installing Ollama on it. So what I'm going to do first is open up my Ubuntu system. And I'm going to minimize this window just temporarily. And I'm going to type in sudo apt update. And 6 packages can be upgraded. So I'm going to type in sudo apt upgrade -y. And now I'm going to see if I have a tool called curl installed. So I'm going to see if I can install this by typing sudo apt install curl. And it says curl's already installed. I know that I don't have NetTools installed, but I'm also going to use it to check my IP address by typing in sudo apt install net-tools. And now I can check my IP address by doing ifconfig, and it shows me my IP address, 172.21.219.132. I will be using my IP address later just to check to see that it's running properly. But for the purposes of this lab, I'm not actually going to go so far and install this as a web UI. I'm going to run this strictly on the command line interface, just what you see here. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that command from the Ollama website, and it's a curl command, so it's going to download something to my Ubuntu system. I'm going to do this. I'm going to paste it in here. And because I'm not root right now, I'm going to type sudo in front and then hit enter. So this entire command says sudo curl -fs, capital S, capital L, https://ollama.com/install.sh pipe sh. And when I hit enter, it starts downloading the AI tool to my Linux system. This install will take a few minutes. It's not something that's going to be downloaded pretty quickly. It is a large app that we're going to be using today. And while that's downloading, I'm going to go here and I'm going to show you on this ollama.com page. You can also click on models up in the upper right-hand side. And you can also work with these other models and download these and use them. So there's a whole bunch of them here. And I'm going to be using one called Tiny Llama. Tiny Llama works well because it works fast, and you don't actually need a lot of RAM in order to run Tiny Llama. But there's a whole bunch of them that we can use here. Here's Tiny Llama right here. So I'll be using this one, and I'll be downloading this one for our AI. It looks like it's about 49–50% complete. And if you've ever used a service like ChatGPT for AI, you'll notice that when you go to ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini, you can use it to get answers to things. Just like if you were to Google something, if you were to use a search engine is just going to find things that are related to your searches, and it's going to display thousands of different searches to your screen. Well, with AI, it's only going to bring you back the relevant information all in one script or in one piece. It's not going to bring you thousands of different search results. So that's the benefit of using an AI tool as opposed to using a search engine like Google or anything else that might be out there. There may be times when you need an answer to something right away, and you don't want to go out and search for things, right? So let me go ahead and show you. This thing is now installed, and it shows me in order to run Ollama from the command line, what I have to do is I have to pull down one of the models. So if I'm going to be using Tiny Llama, I'm going to type in I'm going to type in Ollama pool Tiny Llama. And it's going to start downloading that language model that I can use inside the Ollama AI. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for this to run. And I don't have a lot of memory installed on my computer right now on my Windows machine. Right now I'm using a Windows laptop that has 16 gigabytes of memory, which is okay. It's not a slow computer, but it's also not the fastest computer out there. There are some really good computers out there that have really high performance and a lot of memory installed, especially like gaming computers, gaming laptops, or gaming desktops. You often find gaming laptops that have 32 gigabytes of memory or 64 gigabytes of memory. If this was like a high-end type of server where performance was a main thing that you want to use on it, you would be looking at a server that may have 64 gigabytes of RAM or 128 gigabytes of RAM. And there's even some that are higher that go up to 256 gigabytes of RAM. For the purposes of this lab activity that I'm going to show you all today, Tiny Llama can run with not so much RAM. Like, it's not a requirement to have a lot of RAM installed if you're going to be using Tiny Llama as your language model for your AI tool called Ollama. So here, in order to use Tiny Llama, I'm going to type in Ollama run Tiny Llama. Okay. And now it's waiting for me to send it a message. It's waiting for me to ask it a question, just like you would see in ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini. So here I'm going to type in something easy like, what is the meaning of life? And when I hit enter, there it is giving me the answer to the meaning of life. And it tells me that it's an abstract concept and it refers to the purpose or goal of human existence, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of just stops right there. It doesn't give me a lot of information. But again, I'm using a language model that's not so big like these other ones that you see on this page. All right, there's some that are really big in size. They're going to run a lot slower because I don't have a lot of memory installed, but they're also going to give you more answers to more complex questions that are out there. Like, for example, Llama 2, this one I believe is about 3.8 gigabytes in size. It's going to give me back more answers to more complex questions that are more relevant. But the problem is I may not be able to run this on my machine if I'm running out of hard drive space or if I don't have a lot of memory installed on my computer. So ideally, if you would want to run an AI tool like Ollama on a computer that has a lot of memory, and I'm talking about more than just 8 gigabytes of memory on the machine. If you're running a virtual machine and you only have, let's say, 4 gigabytes of memory, this would not be the tool to install on a virtual machine if you only have 4 gigabytes of memory. Ideally, you want to have 16 gigabytes of memory or higher so that this tool can run a lot better, a lot easier, and a lot smoother. Okay, so we'll see what else it can do here. I also teach classes on getting certifications like CompTIA certifications. I might type in something like, what do I need to study to pass the CompTIA Security Plus certification exam? All right. So you'll notice here that it gives me back some answers. And it's really running pretty smoothly. I don't see any problems as far as like Tiny Llama giving me anything back that's not relevant or not giving me anything at all. There's been times when I use other language models that they won't give me anything because I don't have enough RAM installed on my computer, right? So that's kind of what I want to show you here today. Some people may use an AI tool to generate things for you. Like, for example, a student might say, well, I don't really want to write a paper. I'd rather have AI write me a paper instead. So I could have said something like, write a 2-page research paper on Kali Linux. And it's going to go out and it's going to write me this 2-page research paper on Kali Linux. It gives me a title. It gives me an abstract. It's going to give me an introduction. It's going to write out the entire paper for me with sections and bullet points. If you tell it to write it in APA format, it's going to write it for you in APA format. It might actually even give you references. If you ask it, or if you tell it to give you references at the end, it'll give you a citations page or a references page. If you're using it as a student and you're using AI for all of the wrong reasons, like let's say you don't want to do your homework, you don't want to go out and write your own papers, this would not be a reason to use AI. All right. And students might actually use it in that manner. And there it goes, giving me the conclusion. And I'm waiting for it to see if it actually gives me references at the end. But because I didn't tell it to give me references, it might not actually give me references at the end of the paper. But there you go. It wrote a paper for me. If you're in college and you're having AI write a paper, well, 9 times out of 10, your professor's going to run through copying your paper into an AI plagiarism generator, and it's going to check to see if you plagiarized or used AI to write your paper for you. So it's not actually good to use AI for those types of reasons. You want to use it so that you can get the answers to things quickly, so that you can understand how AI actually works. And if you're using it for all of the right reasons, then you can help AI grow in a manner that's going to benefit all of us. All right. So that's kind of what I want to end the video on. And by the way, if you ever want to exit out of Ollama, all you have to do is just type in /buy and it'll exit. If you ever need to go back into it, you can run it again just like this. I'll go in there and say, write an APA paper on Kali Linux. And this time, because I wrote an APA paper, it might actually go out and write me the references at the end. Because if you're writing an APA format, well, you're also going to have references, down at the bottom or as a separate page on your paper. But what I wanted to show you is, and by the way, I'm gonna go ahead and Control C that to stop. You'll notice that I did Control C in order to exit. But let's say, for example, I'm going to do what is the meaning of life again. And at the end, I'm going to type in -- verbose. And when you do -- verbose at the end, it's actually going to give you some statistics on how long it actually took to give you that answer at the end. So here we're going to see at the end, and it didn't actually give me it in verbose, which is okay, but it could be that I didn't use a language model that could give me that answer in verbose. But just know that if you need to certain statistics on how long it actually took to give you that answer, you could use a -- verbose at the end, and it'll give you statistics of how long did it take to give you that answer. All right. So again, you can exit out by typing /buy. And then you're back into your Linux machine and you're no longer using Ollama as your AI. And the benefits of that is that I didn't need to go online to grab these answers. It's all running within my Linux system, and this could still run offline. So there's some benefits to running applications offline. Like, let's say, for example, I don't have an internet connection, but I still want to use AI. Well, I can use Ollama for that. I don't have to pay to use Ollama, so it's free, it's open source, I can contribute. It's a really good thing to use if you're trying to understand how to use an AI tool. I definitely encourage y'all to use Ollama if you're going to be using large language models and learning about how to use AI. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And I want to say thank you all for watching this video.